Jack Patterson, appreciate you coming on here, joining us on Getting to Know the Gulls. Jack was with us here in 2014, here in 2017, currently with the Chicago Cubs. You're a New England native, Suffield, Connecticut, went to Suffield Academy, attended Bryan University up in Smithfield, Rhode Island, which is not too far from Newport. Came to us in 2014 as a freshman. Take us through going to Bryan, coming to play for us as a freshman, and then returning as an upperclassman. How was that experience?
I absolutely loved summer ball. I mean, my only experiences obviously were Newport, so I kind of lucked out, being with the best summer ball team in the country. But back in 2014, I was just a little freshman coming to play in Newport. Didn't really, I was still learning how to pitch. I was more of a thrower back then. But in 2014, such a great group of guys. I just remember learning so much, from guys like Mick Van Boss and the upperclassmen and stuff like that. And, ultimately we were able to win a championship. Was probably my first ever championship, I think, in baseball. Some good bling with that ring. I still, have it in my room and everything like that. But yeah, just, compared to 2014, 2017, coming back as a senior, I feel like, a lot of development went in and stuff like that. And then, obviously, going back for a fifth year at Bryan and being fortunate enough to get a shot and get drafted by the Cubs, 32nd round. Definitely winning my first year wasn't where I wanted to be, kind of got left in rookie league and stuff, but just kind of kept working and kept developing and just trying to, be like a sponge and soak everything up and just trying to get better, a little bit better every day. And, last year kind of felt like it was my breakout year, kind of took off a little bit, even though I got left and extended and stuff, but, just kind of fueled to the fire to keep working and ultimately was able to put together a pretty good year last year. And
summer ball season, how'd that help you in your development? Do you think it helped you? I mean, I know you said it was great to be with some of those older guys, but how does that experience stack up as far as your playing career?
To college ball in Bryan, and I don't know if it's different with maybe the bigger time programs and stuff, but I really felt like summer ball, you can compare it a little bit more to pro ball. Obviously, we're not in classes every day. And, it's just kind of more of like a laid back feeling. You just kind of show up to the field. You're expected to get your work done. You don't expect to show up, get your work in. And I felt like getting to pro ball, I kind of noticed a lot of similarities, with summer ball and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love playing in Newport, just the atmosphere and everything. And, Cardinals Field, is the oldest ballpark in the country and stuff. It's just so much history and so many good people. Like, I mean, those 2 summers are summers I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And, I'm going to keep coming back to Newport, coming to visit and stuff. And I just loved it.
Hey, Jack, that really means a lot. Let's talk for a moment about 2014. The Gulls' 6th championship victory. You started arguably the most important games, the 2 most important games in that playoff run. The decisive Game 3 against Ocean State in the first round, where Blaze hit that grand slam, and then the clinching game in Sanford to capture the title. Just tell us your mindset throughout that championship run and what it was like taking home the championship and the trophy that year.
Yeah, man, I remember those 3 series really well. I mean, I remember that game, and I remember I got hit around a little bit the first 2 innings. I think I might have given up, 4 runs through 2 or 3. And that was the decisive Game 3, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I just remember Blaze came up and hit that towering grand slam in the left field and kind of gave us the lead. I think I ended up going, 8 innings, which I had never done in my career before. So that was kind of a cool thing to be able to do. In an elimination game, and then I remember business there. I don't remember if we went 3 games or not. But yeah, then that Sanford series, I remember John Kilichowski pitched an amazing Game 1. He might have been like perfect through 4 or 5 innings, if I remember correctly, just dominating. And he's a lefty too, so I kind of, just watched that whole game right by the little nook we had where the on deck circle is, and I just kind of sat there and just watched how he attacked the hitters and stuff. And I tried to do that the next night up in Sanford. I think I ended up giving up like 4 runs, I think. No, I don't know if they were earned or not. I'm gonna say they were unearned, but yeah, I think Blaze hit another monster shot in that game 3 against Sanford too. So I mean, those are just memories that I'm never gonna ever forget. You know, it was probably my first dog pile. You know, just stuff. That bus ride back was just so fun. Just blasting music, people getting on the mic, singing. Like those are just things that you're never gonna ever forget. I'm just so fortunate I was able to experience it with that group of guys and with the Newport community.
Wow, I love how you put that because championships are not something that come too often, regardless of the level that you're playing at. And it meant a lot for the community that summer. You've touched on Cardines, you've touched on some of the guys you played with, which, by the way, if you're looking at this graphic, it seems like everyone from that roster went pro, including some guys making a real impact in the show. Of course, winning the title and the fashion you guys did sticks out. But what else about your time with the Gulls you really made it special?
I mean, yeah, I think especially that 2014 team, like we were just such a close knit group, like just top to bottom. I mean, I just remember every off day, like it wouldn't just be go to hang out with like 2 or 3 guys. Like the whole team was hanging out, whether we'd be going to the beach or someone's house. And I think just the relationships. I mean, I still stay in touch with a lot of guys, even from that 2014 team. Which, feels like forever ago, but just the relationships and just the building a connection with the community and stuff. Doing all the camps and everything, and then obviously in 2017 getting to live with the Martins, with Kenny and Leo. I mean, Kenny has been someone who I still talk to almost every day. Just the relationships I've been able to build. They've been amazing.
No, within the Newport Gulls, we always say Gulls fly together, Gulls family. So
yes, they do. GFT.
Absolutely, GFT. You were in spring training back in March, preparing for your 3rd professional season. Lots of rumors, some news articles swirling. You might get a shot in 2020 to get to the show. To have that all come to a halt, out of nowhere. Can you recall how you found out, everybody was going to be sent home and what you were doing in the time leading up to eventually being selected for that 60-man once the MLB announced there would be a season. And for those of you not familiar with the roster structure this year, it's quite an accomplishment to be placed on the 60-man.
I just remember being in spring training. We'd really only had spring training for probably about 3 or 4 days, and then kind of the whole Rudy Gobert with the Jazz thing came out, and then that next day, you just kind of saw teams starting to send people home and cancel spring training. I remember we had 2 days canceled. They wouldn't tell us why. And then on the 3rd day, they just, all sent us emails with booked flights home and stuff and just said, this is bigger than baseball right now. So we kind of got to take a step back and kind of pause life right now, which is what we did. So I went back to Suffield, went back to Connecticut, stayed with my family. I was fortunate enough. I live on a boarding school campus. I've lived there my whole life. So, there's baseball fields there. I was able to, stay in shape, throwing on the turf field and stuff. The gym was unfortunately closed, but I kind of was able to sneak in there with my dad before they locked the doors and take some training stuff out and moved into a garage. So I lifted out of a garage for, a good 2.5, 3 months. And just, with the Cubs, they're very good with communication. They kind of created an app for us and kind of told us, outlined, obviously do what you can, but this is kind of the direction we want you to head. Just stay in shape. And that's just what I did. And then when MLB finally returned and they said they were going to do the 60-man roster, I think at first the Cubs only put on, out of the 60, like 48 guys. So obviously, not getting the call right when the rosters came out was a little disappointing, but there were 12 spots that were still open. So I kind of, kept my fingers crossed and held out hope. And then, sure enough, probably about a week later, I got the call and said, we're coming out to South Bend. And it's been amazing out here because I know that there's so many other guys that would kill to be in the shoes I'm in now. So
what you've been able to do as a 32nd round pick, coming from a smaller New England school and getting up to the AA ranks. I mean, your career record right now, 10-2, hovering around that 2 point so-and-so ERA. I mean, what would you tell someone in your position?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was a New England guy. I'm a little on the smaller side. I was never really heavily recruited out of college. Only heard from a handful of schools right in the Northeast region. And obviously, going to college, I wasn't, that much of a draft prospect. Obviously missed some time with some injuries and stuff, but my last year I knew, there was a shot. And, my mindset was I knew I wasn't going to be, a top 10 rounder, a big signing bonus and everything, but really I just wanted a chance because I knew that, maybe if I did get this opportunity, like, some good could come out of it. And, any advice I can give to someone, it's like, it doesn't really matter. Especially when you're younger, the kind of recognition you're getting at the point, whether it be, you're getting recruited or not, for me, I just needed a chance. And I think a lot of people just need to get that chance. And I was fortunate enough to get discovered by, the new Northeast area scout for the Cubs, Matt Sherman. He took a chance on me and ultimately the Cubs did. And, when I showed up to my first day at work, I just said, I'm a 32nd rounder. I'm going to be more on the easier side to let go if they want to make that decision to move on. So I just didn't really want to take any day for granted and just kind of, bust my ass and show them what I can do. And, last year I kind of made some adjustments and was able to fill up the strike zone a little bit more than I have in recent years. And I think that, the numbers kind of spoke for themselves. And when I threw strikes, then good things happen. So that's the advice I get. Just, look for that chance. And when you do get it, just go all out and don't take anything for granted.
No, I think that's amazing advice that everybody should be listening to and understanding as they continue again on all walks of life. Lastly, before I let you go here, off the cuff or something that not everybody would expect once you get to pro ball. I mean, how is maybe the bus rides or the food or something like that? Give us a little something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I could say on a Zoom call. One thing I wasn't really ready for, especially was like the long road trips. Guys can get, especially pitchers and stuff who aren't playing. Like guys can get pretty rowdy on the road trips, and they play a lot of cards. I'm not much of a card player. I don't really like to lose money, and I don't have a lot of money to lose. But I mean, just some of these guys, the money that they throw around, the cards they play, it's for me, it's scary. But like for them, I guess it's nothing. But I mean, I remember one road trip when I was in AA. Like we must have had like a 10-hour ride, and we were leaving right after a home night game. So we didn't get on the road till 11:30. And I'm used to being in Bryant and even being in the lower minors, like just one coach bus, like everyone's doubling up and you just get from point A to point B. And I go outside to load my bag, and there's these just two giant coach buses like ready to take us. And like our manager was just standing right there, and he's like, "This is the quiet bus. This is the party bus." I was just like, okay. Like I went on the quiet bus because I knew the loud bus was just going to be playing cards all day. And I think I actually did have to pitch that first game of the series. But stuff like that you just don't really expect, like just things I'm not used to. But just it's been great. I've loved all my 2.5 years of pro ball so far, coming up on 3. It's memories I'll have forever.
Awesome. Hey, well, Jack Patterson, best of luck to you moving forward. Thanks for taking some time and looking forward to where your career takes you. Hopefully we can get you back on here real soon.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mike. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get some summer ball next year, and I'll try and get back to Newport.
Absolutely. You'll be in Chicago. It'll be kind of tough to get over here to Newport, but no, we appreciate it.
Maybe I'll make an off-season trip then.
Absolutely. Hey, best of luck. Thanks again, Jack.